what I'll be briefing you on today is what we know thus far. I'd like to again offer my condolences to Ms. Williams' family, Ms. Nakia Williams' family. A very tragic situation that unfolded last night. So just to give you an overview, I'm going to start with the time frame. On Sunday, December 19th, Ms. Williams arrived at the Sunoco gas station at 7 Mile and Hayes at approximately 5:57 p.m. Shortly after she arrived, multiple 911 calls were made to report a woman wielding a gun and pointing it directly at some customers attempting to enter, and some were exiting the store. 2 units responded within minutes of the 911 call, and 4 officers in total arrived and encountered Ms. Williams. When they encountered her, she was at the entrance of the store pointing a gun directly at a customer. Officers fired multiple times, and following the shooting, the officers rushed Ms. Williams to a local hospital in their patrol car, where, as we know, she later succumbed to her injuries. She was pronounced dead at the hospital. This is an open and active investigation once again. So some information I will not be able to share, but I will provide as much as I possibly can. So with that, we will start the PowerPoint, and I will provide information with the PowerPoint. Again, this is being done during the investigation so that we can be transparent with the community as well as with the media. As you can see in slide 1, 5:59, Ms. Williams is inside the store, and at this point she cuts in front of those 3 customers that you see there and produces the gun. At 6:06, next slide, Ms. Williams has the gun in her hand at the entrance of the store, and you can see in the yellow circle there, she's standing at the entrance of the store with the weapon. At 6:07, Ms. Williams points the gun in the next slide. That's the slide there. She points the gun at customers at the gas pumps, and as you can see, the customers appear to turn around and flee from the location and return to their vehicles. At 6:08, next slide, Ms. Williams points the gun at a vehicle and a customer. The customer in the blue is running away, and as you can see, the vehicle is beginning to move and move away from the scene. The vehicle actually peels off at that time. She continues in the next slide to point the gun at this citizen, and he is fleeing towards his vehicle. Next slide. At 6:09, the officers arrive as Ms. Williams comes out of the store. At the same time, Ms. Williams points the gun at a customer. Officers tell the customer not to enter, and what you see in this particular slide is the customer that has his back to Ms. Williams was actually walking towards the store, and the officer yells to the customer not to go in. Officers tell him not to go in. He turns, he walks away, and the officer, I want to make special note, has not removed his weapon yet. He's having some type of conversation with her. We're still in the process of investigating that. But the customer, he did in fact tell to turn around. The investigation also has revealed that Ms. Williams was armed at this point with an airsoft weapon. Once the officers engaged Ms. Williams and shots were fired by the officers, they kicked the gun away, conveyed her in the vehicle, and when they kicked the gun away, you see that the back of the weapon opened up, and you can see what appears to be a CO2 charge inside of the weapon, which is indicative of a airsoft pistol. Our preliminary investigation shows that the officers acted bravely. They had to make a split-second decision, and they were confronted with a very, very volatile situation and a very tragic situation. The investigation reveals that Mrs. Williams may have suffered from mental illness. We don't know completely all the details to that yet, but as I indicated, we are still in the process of looking at every aspect of this investigation, including video, talking to Mrs. Williams' family, and getting as much information about her as we possibly can. But preliminarily, very tragic for not only, the most tragic for the Williams family, obviously, but certainly tragic for the officers as well. I mean, they are certainly taking this situation very hard and looking at what they had to deal with, It's just an unbelievable tragedy for the community and for the department. Preliminarily, the actions of the officers, though the case continues to be investigated, appears to be within policy. But as we do with all officer-involved shootings, we will send our findings over to the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office for their review of the facts and the circumstances. In addition, the Joint Task Force, the Homicide Task Force, and the Michigan State Police working the investigation, and they will provide a disposition upon their completion. With that, I will take any questions that you all may have.
Good afternoon, Chief. Eli Newman, WDET News. Concerning the 4 officers who responded, were any of them recording body cam footage?
We have looked at some body camera footage, and we continue to pull video and look at all video assets that we have available to
Sure.
us. But yes, there was body camera footage.
Sure. And the footage that the stills that we were seeing today, was that green light, or was that just obtained from the gas station themselves?
I'll have to check that. I think this was a combination. It looks like green light, but I'm not 100% sure.
Including the ones that are in the.
Yes, the ones inside the location certainly are green light footage.
Understood. And can you just reiterate what DPD's policy is just regarding publishing this kind of footage? I mean, we're seeing stills today. You clearly have other video assets on hand.
Yeah, I mean, it's a case-by-case situation. I mean, this is an active situation. I made the decision to release the stills. Frankly, you know, oftentimes you don't release any video until the investigation is complete. It compromises the work that the prosecutor has to do. But I thought, you know, out of an abundance of needing to be transparent and walk through exactly what happened with the circumstance and situation, I wanted to be transparent and release at least stills at this time.
Do you think the department would consider releasing the rest of the footage or anything beyond stills?
Certainly we could at some point, yes.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Chief Charlie Ramirez, Detroit News. I just was wondering if you could give us the correct spelling of Ms. Williams' name and also her age and whether or not she's a City of Detroit resident.
You'll get that for him? Okay. We'll get that to you.
Colin Frederick, WXYZ. I was wondering if you knew how many officers shot at the woman, as well as if you know the amount of officer-involved shootings in 2021 so far.
I don't have that with me right now. We can get that to you. That's no problem. As far as the number of rounds shot by each officer, that type of thing, that's part of the investigation, and I'm not at liberty to release that at this time.
Yes, sir.
No more questions? All right. Well, thank you all very much.